Hey, and welcome to part 2 of our Manta presentation. In this section, we will discuss the different species of manta, why the Maldives is a hotspot, what the mantas eat, and the different feeding strategies that these gentle giants have developed. So there are two species of manta rays, the reef resident and the oceanic. The reef mantas can get to about 4 meters across, and the oceanics can get up to 7 meters. Almost too hard for the brain to comprehend without seeing it. Now there are a few ways to tell the difference between the species, apart from size that is. One way to tell is the pattern on their dorsal side. The reef manta generally have a Y shape, whereas the oceanic have a T. On their underside, there are also some clues. Reef mantas tend to have quite white bellies with markings between the gills. Oceanics have quite dark shading along the edge of their pectoral fins and up around their cephalic fins. Also their habitat, where they are spotted, is a good indication. Reef mantas stay along the reefs, and oceanics are found more in the open oceans. Mantas have the biggest brain to body ratio of any fish. They are extremely graceful and very intelligent. They are known to show signs of recognition, and they have social awareness. Being in a manta's presence is quite an incredible feeling. Here's a wee video taken on one of our dives. As you can see, this manta is not worried about the divers at all, and it maybe seems a little curious. This video also shows the manta curling up its cephalic fin, allowing for a more streamlined body while out swimming. So where can you see mantas? Well, reef mantas tend to be in warmer waters, so just north and south of the equator in that orange band there. And then oceanics can also be found in those areas, but also found further out as well, where the waters are a little cooler. The Maldives is a global hotspot for mantas. For us in Bar Atoll during the southwest monsoon season that runs May till November is when we have mantas around. This is because we have the correct weather and oceanic currents for manta food to bloom. This happens when the cooler waters from the south hit the atolls. It causes upwelling, which means that the deep water, which is very high in nutrients, is forced up towards the surface, which causes a huge productivity bloom of plankton, which is perfect manta food. Mantas eat some of the smallest things found in the ocean. Plankton. There are a few different types of plankton. There is phytoplankton, which is a plant. So just like plants on land, it gets its energy from the sun through photosynthesis. Phytoplankton is then eaten by zooplankton, which is tiny animals like the krill in the bottom left-hand picture. Zooplankton is the perfect food for manta. Often during the southwest monsoon, the visibility underwater isn't as good as during the other monsoon. But that's a very good sign because it means there's lots of plankton, so very good chances of seeing manta. Another cool thing about plankton is that some is bioluminescent, and we get it in the Maldives at night. You can see it very well during our night dives or our night snorkels. Otherwise, once it gets dark, you can kick your feet around in the shallows and you might get lucky. So now we know what mantas eat. Let's find out how they do it. Well, they have a great sense of smell. They have huge mouths and those cephalic fins to help funnel in the water. And they have also developed a range of feeding techniques. The first one is the somersault or the barrel roll. This is when the mantas will do flips to get as much of the plankton around them as possible. They can flip over and over. Very beautiful to watch. It's almost like dancing. The next is chain feeding. This happens when there are many manta. They all line up, each slightly higher than the one in front, to catch all the plankton that the mantas in front of them don't quite get. Surface feeding happens when the plankton is up near the surface. They skim along the surface with their big mouths open. It's great when mantas are doing this, as it makes them very easy to spot from the boat, as they have a little dorsal fin that pokes up out of the water. This video is also excellent to see those big gill plates in their big mouths. Then finally, the cyclone. This happens when there are lots of manta and lots of plankton. All the mantas start to swim in the same direction, creating a cyclone, with all the plankton getting trapped in this water. They will then switch direction and open their big mouths to feast. So thank you for watching part 2. Next week we will finish the presentation by talking about manta reproduction, then natural and unnatural predators, honey wharubei, and what you can do to help.